because it is said that most postmoderns would love, to dance, so they don't care about the basic. If we could take this and fix some problems,
for the talents, maybe, yeah, that's a good question. Definitely. So maybe it's a question that most of the teens usually have.
Welcome to Energ-Aid. I am your host, Adela Chakoto. Today I have a topic that can be quite beneficial to you, and it's called managing finances. Here today in studio to help me is Alfred Mtetemera. But before we begin, I went to Kawale SDA Church to ask them questions on managing finances, and this is what they had to say.
My name is Hannah Nyon and I'm 18 years old.
Hannah, your parents decide to give you 20,000 Malawi kwacha every month. How would you split it so that all your costs are covered?
I can just pay for tithe and then offering, and then remaining money I can just do a small business. That maybe if I can earn money for the small business, I can help myself and my parents.
My name is Mwayi Zungu and I'm 14 years old.
Do you think saving up is beneficial if maybe you got 10,000 kwacha every month and every 5,000 you kept it? Do you think it's beneficial?
Yeah, I think it's beneficial since I would use the saved money for emergencies, and I would also make sure that I would keep tithe from the saved money. Yeah.
I'm Letitia Masaiti and I'm 15 years old.
Letitia, if you won 50 million Malawi kwacha, what would you do with it? Be honest.
Okay, firstly, I would take like 50,000 and pay it for tithe. The other, I would maybe give it to offer it to some orphanage. Yeah. And the remaining one, I think I would do something to please my parents and myself. Yeah, that's what I would do with it.
So how would you please yourself with 50 million kwacha?
I don't know, let me see. Maybe build a house, if that would be possible. Start a small business that would actually sustain me. Yeah.
You wouldn't go shopping?
I don't like shopping.
I'm Ernest Ngondo. I'm 18 years old.
If you won 50 million kwacha, what would you do with it? How would you spend it?
Firstly, I would plan for any of the businesses like shop selling or any business. Yeah, and then I would start my business. Yeah.
So you'd use 50 million kwacha to start a business?
Yeah, I would start my business with 50 million kwacha.
I'm John Samboko and I'm 15.
Your parents decide to give you 20,000 kwacha every month, Malawian kwacha. How would you split it?
First of all, I can return tithe. Yeah, then after I'll buy some needs of my life. Yeah, the school needs. Yeah, and I'll spend it on God's message to be proclaimed.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
So that's what teens at Kawale SDA Church had to say about managing finances. Like I mentioned earlier before, that I'm here in studio with Alfred Mtetemera, and he will help us understand this topic of managing finances, and later on will give us a budget plan or just help us manage our finances better. Welcome, Alfred.
Thank you, Adele.
Now, could you tell our viewer, what do you do?
I'm an accountant by profession.
Mm-hmm.
I've been working now for 13 years.
13?
Yes, 13
It's a long time.
I'm a qualified chartered accountant.
Okay.
Right now I'm working for Sidco Malawi as a chief accountant.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
I'm a dedicated Adventist Christian.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also the treasurer of our church, Area 47 SDA Church.
Mm-hmm.
I think my family, I've got a wife, I'm married. I need one wife, not two. Not three.
Okay.
I've got 3 beautiful daughters. One is 5, the second one is 3 years old, and the last one is just 2 months. The names are Emmeline, Emmanuel, and Ivan.
Ah,
And my wife is Tokosi.
okay. Thank you. Now, we know as teens, all of us at one point receive money from our parents. Some of us may get pocket money, maybe of about ranging from about 5,000 Malawi kwacha and more than that. Some people receive about 20,000 per month. I know of people who receive about 5,000 kwacha every week, and then I know of people who may receive 1,000 kwacha every day for food and other things. In a nutshell, before we go in depth, how can we budget, or how can we manage our finances? Let's take a scenario of someone who may be receiving 1,000 kwacha every day for school, their lunch money, and then other things.
First of all, I think issues to do with money,
Mm-hmm.
they might seem very simple,
Mm.
and people don't think well about them and don't take much of the time thinking about money.
Mm-hmm.
But I would like to start this way. As a Christian, we all believe in God,
Mm-hmm.
and God actually gave us a guide on how we can do with money.
Yeah, yeah.
On a Christian perspective, I just want to, before I answer your question, I just want to put a little bit of background.
Okay.
In a sense that, money sometimes might be evil, and most of the times it's evil,
Mm-hmm.
because money is not enough.
Yeah.
Money will never be enough.
Yeah.
If we quote the Bible in Ecclesiastes 5 verse 10, it says, whoever loves money will never have enough money.
Mm.
Whoever loves wealth will not be satisfied with it,
Mm.
because it's all meaningless.
Yeah, yeah. Mm.
And in Matthew it also says that for where your treasure is,
Your heart will
that's
be
where
also.
your heart will also be.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So in getting these two into context with what you've asked,
Yeah, yeah.
money will never be enough.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, God says we should be satisfied with what we have.
Mm-hmm.
And any little money that we have, we should take account of it
Mm-hmm.
and use it in the best of any ability in the best of anything that we can do with it.
Mm-hmm.
Firstly, I would say if you get a 1,000, for instance, in a day,
Mm-hmm.
the first thing that you need to think of is anything that you get, anything that you have, it's not yours, belongs to God.
Okay.
Because God says, all treasure, all gold and silver,
Mm-hmm.
it's His.
Yes.
We're just stewards. We are given to manage.
Mm-hmm.
So if we've been given a 1,000 kwacha to manage, God says 10% of whatever we have to return it back to Him.
Through tithe.
It's not an option. It's not even a choice.
Mhm.
It's a command.
Okay.
So 10% of that 1,000 has to go back to God
Mm-hmm.
in form of tithe.
Okay.
And we've been given a responsibility as Christians. How will God's work be accomplished?
Mm-hmm.
We as individuals, you as a teenager,
Mm-hmm.
you have to contribute,
Yeah.
because you form part of that plan
Mm-hmm.
that we have to accomplish His work.
Yeah.
And it's only through offerings
Mm-hmm.
and through our tithes.
Mm.
So you've paid tithe, and you also have to offer to God a little something
Yeah.
to make sure that His work is accomplished in whatever way that the leadership might decide to do with that money.
Mm-hmm.
After you've done that, for instance, a 1,000 kwacha, you've paid 100 kwacha tithe, you can also get 50 kwacha out of the remaining 900
Yeah.
as offering.
Okay.
That means you've got 850 kwacha remaining with you.
Mm-hmm.
at your disposal.
Yeah. And just before we continue, with offering, is there like a specific amount as well? Because we know that it's for tithe it's 10%. Is offering optional, whatever amount you want to give, or is there also a certain amount?
It's optional, but remember earlier on I said, where your treasure is, that's where your heart also will be. So it depends on your faith, and your belief. How do you value God?
Okay.
You might want to give him 500 kwacha out of the 900. God will even bless you more. Because you've shown where your heart is. Your heart is with God. And for instance, you give 500 kwacha out of the 900.
Yeah.
You're remaining with 400 kwacha. That 400, you can do much more with it.
Now, considering the fact that we have, as a student, you've been given that 1,000 kwacha
Yes.
just for food to spend at school. How then can we use that money in the correct way?
I would believe that, as parents, they know, yes, they've given you 1,000 for your pocket money for food.
Yeah.
But there are times that they also probably give you something just at your disposal to do it.
Anything
to do
with it.
anything that you can do with that money. For the school, I would believe my conscience would tell me to retain tithe on that.
Okay.
Because it's money that I've been given. I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
I work, for instance, I get 10,000 kwacha a month. God doesn't say that I should retain after I've paid my rentals, after I've paid school fees for my kids. No. I have to retain tithe on the 10,000, the earning that I've had from my work. So out of the earnings, anything that I've earned in my life, I have to retain 10% of that amount to God. So regardless, either it's pocket money for food, or just pocket money for candies and some stuff, you still have to retain tithe on it. So, in short, all I can say is, on that money, I know 1,000 might not be enough, but it's enough if you retain tithe on it. God will even bless you more. And for the extra money that you get, as I earlier explained, you have to retain tithe on it, offering, and over and above that, any small amount that you can invest, that you can save. I remember when I was a kid, we used to have these big tins, the powdered milk tins, and would take those and you just cut a hole on the lid, and probably you can
tape it.
You can seal it so that you shouldn't have access to the money that you're going to drop in there. Then the coins had so much value, and we used to drop any little coin that you have in the box, saving for something that you really have been looking up to. It wasn't enough, but you're showing an initiative that you're able to save for something. And that culture, if it starts, even if you're 5 years old, it can get you way through your life, and it can make a difference. We know people who've got money, but they don't even know how to save. Not as small as you may think, but probably as old as your father, but they don't even know how to save. So it starts with a small thing. It starts with 1 tambala to save. So I would urge even teens, any little money that you have, you need to learn to save and have a purpose of that money that you're saving. You need to have a plan. what are you going to do with that money?
Yeah. I was actually just about to ask. I get pocket money every month. I won't mention the amount,
Yes.
but I do get pocket money
That's
every
right.
month end.
That's right.
And I remember I'll give my budget plan at the end, but one of the parts that I do is I save up. I put it into my savings. I have a little piggy bank, but then after, when it fills up, I deposit it into the bank, into my bank account. And I save up. And I remember my friends, when I got pocket money, and for a long time I had been saving up. And my friends came to my house like, I found this really nice, these nice dresses, nice shoes, and I really want us to go there and just buy things, but I don't have money. That's what she said to me. So I'm thinking, well, I don't have money either. And she knows that I save up, and then she goes, well, you have like tons of money right there. And I was like, yes, but I'm saving up. And she goes, saving up for what? And I just say, I don't know, I'm just saving up, maybe I'll need it. And I think this is one problem that we as teens have. I still don't know I am saving up, to be honest, but I just do keep money there. And I think this is something that most of us teens struggle with. The fact that we don't understand the point of saving up, and the fact that once we receive, all we want to do is spend. So how can we deal with that?
I know there is so much peer pressure out there. Nowadays there's so much that's out there at our disposal that everyone else would want to have. That's materially. We are living in a
material world.
Exactly. And there's so much pressure.
Yeah.
We all want good things. But remember, patience. If you've got patience, it pays. I'll give you an example. I saw an advert on one of the television stations. They gave a child a candy,
Okay.
a marshmallow, in return that if you don't eat it now, I will give you more marshmallows. And they let him have a marshmallow in front of him. 2 of them.
Okay.
Because the child had no patience. The child ate the 2 marshmallows. And
At once.
he had to forgo the more that were there because of patience. So most of the times you notice that saving, it's painful.
Yeah.
But it pays. You've got more than what you had anticipated to have. Imagine you save that money and you buy something that can generate more money. I can't think of anything, but you can have an idea of what you think to invest with that money that you've saved. I like the idea of putting it in a box. And then when it fills up, you get that money and put it in a bank account. That's a brilliant idea. And I would urge most teenagers. Right now, parents, now I'm talking to parents.
Yeah.
Because as anyone who is below 18, you're considered a minor.
Yeah.
But banks are very flexible. They are able to open accounts for the minors as long as there is a guardian,
Yeah.
there is a parent who is there as a signatory just to witness up until the child gets to that age where he or her will be able to manage his or her own funds. You would notice that I think in Malawi, yes, maybe we might be getting there, but our friends out there, they've got trust funds.
Yeah.
Yes, they do have. But here it's not that much. You can make a living out of the little something that your parents are giving you now. And that can make a difference into your life. Imagine you save that money, and that money, for instance, you buy a popcorn machine.
Yeah.
And you're able to make popcorn and sell the popcorn
And in the end, you generate more money.
Exactly. You generate more money. You are able to recover and pay back the money that you spent
Yeah.
buying the machine.
Mm.
You can think of any little something. You can even do flitters.
Mm-hmm.
You can do any small business that can generate
More money.
more money. Not just for consumption
Mm-hmm.
or for buying material things,
Mhm.
but for you to even invest more, and that money can help you in the future.
Before we continue, let's listen to a song done by Don't Doubt entitled Chuma Changa.
Chuma chatikola pansili sichingandipindulirene pamene ndidzamwalira chuma changa ndi Yesu yekha mpulumutsi. Chuma chatikola pansili sichingandipindulirene pamene ndidzamwalira chuma changa ndi Yesu yekha mpulumutsi. Chuma changa ndi Yesu yekha, chuma changa ndi Yesu yekha, pamene ndidzamwalira chuma changa ndi Yesu yekha mpulumutsi. Chuma changa ndi Yesu yekha, chuma changa ndi Yesu yekha, pamene ndidzamwalira chuma changa ndi Yesu yekha mpulumutsi. Masiku ano otsiriza tisakonde chuma cha mdziko, tingokonda Yesu, tingogwiritsitsa dzatipatsa moyo wosatha. Masiku ano otsiriza tisakonde chuma cha mdziko, tingokonda Yesu, tingogwiritsitsa dzatipatsa moyo wosatha. Chuma changa ndi Yesu yekha, chuma changa ndi Yesu yekha, pamene ndidzamwalira chuma changa ndi Yesu yekha mpulumutsi. Chuma changa ndi Yesu yekha, chuma changa ndi Yesu yekha, pamene ndidzamwalira chuma changa ndi Yesu yekha mpulumutsi. Chuma chosatha ndi Yesu yekhayo. Haleluya. Chuma chosatha ndi Yesu yekhayo. Haleluya.
That was a beautiful piece done by Don't Doubt entitled Chuma Changa. And before the song, we were talking to Alfred Mtetemera about saving up and using our money. Now, Alfred, would like to talk about budgeting. I think this is probably, I feel like this is the root problem of why people aren't able to manage their finances, because their budgeting is poor. But before we go any further, what do we mean by budgeting?
A budget, it's something, it's a guide.
Yeah.
You've hashed an idea of how much money you're going to have. Or sometimes you know pretty well how much money you have. But you need something that should guide you.
Yeah.
You need something that you can follow in how you're going to spend that money.
Yeah.
It's a control mechanism that can be put in place to help you even control yourself.
Yeah.
Because we've seen even governments, we've seen homes, we've seen companies
Yeah.
falling because they didn't lay a proper foundation. They didn't put up enough structures in order to guard themselves in overspending. So a budget will help you to guard yourself from these eventualities that you might realize down the road.
Yeah.
That this is what you wanted to spend on, but you've ended up spending on something else that you never intended to spend on.
Mm-hmm.
Budgeting, maybe I might digress a little bit.
Okay, no problem.
I know parents are watching the program.
Yeah.
Budgeting doesn't just start now when you're a teenager. And I'm talking to parents right now that let's involve the children, no matter little they are, in our decisions that we make in the homes.
Mm-hmm.
When we're doing our budgets for the home, either they are long-term budgets, either they're monthly budgets, weekly budgets, in how we're going to spend our money in the home,
Mm-hmm.
let's involve our children in the budgeting process. They will only learn how to manage their finances if the parents have engaged their children, and the children now learn from us as parents
Mm-hmm.
how to manage the finances.
Mm.
I would want to quote someone. I will not mention the name, but
Okay.
he was telling us a story of a friend who was asking him the difference between getting involved and participating. Most of the children, they do participate,
Yeah.
but they are not
Involved.
involved
Mhm.
in the process.
Mm-hmm.
We want them to get involved
Mm-hmm.
in the process of budgeting.
Mm-hmm.
Let them know the nitty-gritties. Let them know how difficult it is
Yeah.
to manage the finances,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and how do you get around the shortfalls, or
Mhm.
how are you able to manage the little that you have,
Mhm.
but you are able to make sure that you are able to supply all the things that are needed in the home.
Mm-hmm.
So budgeting, it's a very important tool, even as teenagers.
Yeah.
The little money that you have, I know most parents give you money that is just there at your disposal.
Mm-hmm.
Before you start spending that money, sit down and budget and see what you're going to do with that money. As I earlier on said, first of all, top of the list, you have to return tithe on the money, any little money that you get. Secondly, you have to offer it to God through offerings. It depends on your faith. But the more you give God, the more God is going to bless you.
Now, I'll just like to give you a simple budget plan, and this is the budget that I use. And this is something that you can take with you, you can deduct, you can add. But let's assume that you receive about 5 or maybe 10 or 15,000 kwacha per month. You may split it, like he mentioned, tithe should be the first thing. So if you're receiving, let's say 10,000 kwacha, then 1,000 kwacha would be for your tithe. And then maybe you might say 500 for your offerings. And then you could split that into 100 kwacha, so it's enough to cover 1 month. And then you could split it into personal expense. So this might be things like your airtime, maybe your lunch money as well for that month. You split it in a way that it will be enough to cover maybe all the days that you'll be having lunch at school. The other thing, you could split it into shopping. Personally, I do like going out with friends sometimes just to eat out, or maybe just do window shopping, just buy myself small little gifts to, I don't know, make myself feel good. So you could also use that money, split your money into shopping, maybe about 1,000 kwacha per month. You could save up, and then after you've got about 5,000 kwacha, then you can go and buy yourself something. And then you could split it into savings, like he said. You could maybe, out of that 10,000 kwacha, 1,000 could be for your savings, and then, or maybe even 500. It doesn't have to be such a big amount, because remember, you are just going to keep it. And you could have a piggy bank or a little container, a little box, somewhere hidden as well, because it's not safe to keep money in the home. So when it fills up, or you have enough, maybe 5,000 kwacha. Then you could ask your parents to open a bank account for you, where you can deposit that money every time you receive it. And then the last thing is you could put it into ministry. This is optional. Personally, I do like giving, and I try my best at the end of every year to at least do some sort of charity thing. I haven't done it in a while, but it's something that I enjoy doing. So sometimes I save up money so that I can buy maybe a toy or clothes or food or soap that I could go and give to an orphanage or hospital. And I do this with friends. So I hope that this program has helped you, and that you'll take this budget plan and all the lessons that we've learned in this episode. You are with me, your host Adela Chokoto, right here on Hope Channel Malawi with your program Energ-Aid. I was in studio today with Alfred Mtetemera, and we were talking about managing finances. And remember, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you.